Here are 10 exotic pets you should never buy. Number 10. Crocodile monitor. Crocodile monitors can reach lengths of 12 feet and are the longest of the monitor lizards. And while owning one of these unique lizards may seem like an interesting idea, crocodile monitors can inflict serious injuries to their owners. Crocodile monitors are known for being aggressive. In fact, they are one of the world's most dangerous lizards out in the wild. And putting them in a cage does nothing to assuage their vicious temperament. Even still, some people insist of keeping this exotic animal as a pet. But unless you are prepared to be attacked by your pet, crocodile monitors are an exotic pet you should think twice about owning. Number 9. Bears. It might surprise you to learn that some people actually have bears as pets. In fact, bears are becoming an increasingly popular exotic pet. But owning a bear is an extremely dangerous thing to do. Bears cannot be fully trained. They are wild animals with natural instincts. And many people who own bears have been attacked by their pet bears without warning. Even when the human and the bear share a bond, the bear will not hesitate to break that bond, and the bear will feel no remorse in doing so. Bears can be kept in captivity with an exotic pet license. However, the license is extremely hard to obtain, and rightfully so. Bears are an exotic pet you should never buy. Number 8. Constrictor snakes. Any constrictor snake comes with a set of very serious threats, so owning one of these snakes is downright dangerous. Constrictor snakes do as they are named. They constrict their prey by wrapping themselves around it and squeezing it tightly. And when it comes to constrictor snakes, they view humans as prey. As far as exotic pets go, constrictor snakes are somewhat mainstream. A lot of people own them. But pet constrictor snakes have caused 17 deaths in the United States alone, making them a highly volatile exotic pet. Number 7. Kinkajou. Kinkajous are found in the rainforest, where they live in the trees. And although their cuteness cannot be denied, they are not the best exotic pets to own. Kinkajous have been known to scratch, bite, and injure their owners. But aside from this, they also carry a very specific and dangerous disease. Kinkajous pose a health risk to humans because they carry a bacteria called Kingella potus. This bacteria can cause a lot of problems for humans, including septic arthritis, endocarditis, respiratory tract infections, and meningitis. 6. Camels. Camels are an exotic animal that should not be kept in captivity. They are extremely large, weighing up to 1,600 pounds. And although they are not especially aggressive, they are designed for the desert, not for backyard enclosures. Even still, some people have insisted on trying to domesticate this exotic wild animal. Camels have long been used to transport goods and people across the desert, but in recent years, some people have started keeping camels as pets on their farms. This is not a good idea, as camels are unpredictable and should only be handled by someone who has experience with them. And given their size, they can easily cause considerable injury to their owners should they choose. In fact, an Australian woman was killed by her pet camel in 2007, and many other owners have reported injuries when their pet camels kicked or tried to trample them. As such, camels should remain in the wide open expanses of the desert where they belong. Number 5. Scorpions. Most people would not willingly keep a scorpion as a pet. Scorpions are widely feared by people who share the same climate as them. Tiny but lethal, scorpions pack a powerful punch with their venomous stinger. And while most people would rather not have anything to do with them, some people keep them in cages in their living rooms. Scorpions do not make a good exotic pet. Clearly, they shouldn't be handled, but their real threat involves their ability to escape their cages. Scorpions are escape artists by nature. They can find ways to crawl through most cracks and crevices. As such, there has been a large number of pet scorpions escaping from their cages. And when they do, they pose a significant threat to anyone else in the home, including young children and pets. Keeping a venomous, exotic animal as a pet is clearly a questionable decision. But keeping a venomous pet that is prone to escaping is not just questionable, it's dangerous. Number 4. Bats. Having a pet bat doesn't just pose a risk to you, it poses a huge health risk to the bat itself. Bats need to exist in the wild. Most bats have a lifespan of 25 years in the wild, but most bats that are kept as pets barely survive for 1 year. Bats cannot adapt to captivity. Bats that are kept in captivity do not receive the same nutrition that they would in the wild. They are also social animals, and they become lonely when isolated. And they obviously have a need to fly. Most bat owners do not have cages large enough to allow the bat to fly freely. Owning a bat is cruel to the bat, but the bat's welfare aside, owning a bat is also dangerous to the owner. Bats can carry a variety of diseases, including rabies. They also engage in urine washing, so they are unhygienic from a human perspective. Number 3. Elephants. People are legally allowed to own elephants as pets in some places as long as they receive the proper paperwork. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. Elephants are often portrayed as cute, adorable, and docile, but nothing could be further from the truth. Elephants are actually one of the deadliest animals on Earth. It's estimated that upwards of 500 people are killed by elephants every year. Elephants are aggressive. Even well-trained elephants that have lived in captivity for years have turned on their trainers and attacked. The aggressive nature of elephants alone makes them a very dangerous exotic pet. But along with the danger they pose, there are also logistical barriers when it comes to owning an elephant. Elephants are huge. They are the world's largest land mammal. Some can weigh up to 16,000 pounds, and they spend between 12 and 18 hours per day eating. So feeding a pet elephant is an expensive undertaking. Elephants have special requirements for their cages. They must have water and dirt so that they can make mud to lather over their skin as sunscreen. They must have shade to escape the sun. And they obviously need cages big enough to allow them the space they need to wander. Elephants are also social animals, and they prefer living with other elephants, so keeping one elephant isn't really fair to the elephant. Keeping an elephant as an exotic pet is a double-edged sword. The elephant is dangerous to the human, and the human likely cannot provide the elephant with everything it needs. Number 2. Chimpanzees. A lot of people might think that owning a chimpanzee is both trendy and cool. But when it comes to chimpanzee ownership, there is a steady theme. People who love the chimp when it's young, but cannot handle it when it gets older. Chimpanzees start off as a good pet. As infants, they are affectionate, adorable, and needy. But chimpanzees grow up very quickly, and by the time they are 5 years old, they are both strong enough and clever enough to overtake a human. Chimpanzees are very intelligent animals, and they must be kept stimulated, otherwise they will get bored. But when chimpanzees are kept in cages as pets, they lack the stimulation they need. This causes them to become resentful of their situation, and they often retaliate. A lot of chimpanzee owners have been bitten by their chimpanzee. It is not uncommon for chimpanzees to bite their owners, and some owners have even lost fingers to chimpanzee attacks. Furthermore, chimpanzees need a lot of space, and most chimpanzee owners do not have enough space for their chimps as their chimps grow. This causes the chimp to become destructive to the owner's home. Sadly, most people who adopt a pet chimpanzee when it is an infant end up giving up the chimpanzee later. These owners come to realize that the once cute and dependent baby chimp is now an aggressive, strong, and untrainable youth chimp. Unsure of what to do, some owners will have the chimp's teeth removed so that it cannot bite. This only prolongs the inevitable though, because even without teeth, the chimp will find other ways to inflict harm. So the owner will turn to local zoos and ask them to take in the chimp. But even sadder, chimps that were raised by humans struggle to reintegrate back into chimpanzee society. They never learned chimpanzee social skills because they were never around other chimpanzees. For this reason, most zoos will not take a chimpanzee that was raised by humans, and most chimpanzees that have been raised by humans wind up in medical research labs. Chimpanzees may seem cute at the onset when they are just babies, but they will grow and they will become aggressive. And when they do, their owners will realize that they can no longer be kept as pets. Honorable mention. The first honorable mention goes to an exotic pet that seems to supersede common sense: big cats. Clearly, common sense dictates that owning a lion or a tiger is not a good idea. Big cats are aggressive, they are hunters by nature. But still, there are people out there who insist on having a giant feline as a pet. As such, it should come as no surprise that there are countless news articles detailing attacks of big cats. Many owners of big cats have been bitten, clawed, or aggressively pawed by their big cats. Big cats are wild by nature, and they can never really be fully tamed. Furthermore, any big cat needs a very spacious enclosure, and this can be problematic for most people. Big cats need space to roam, and when they do not have enough space, they can become quickly agitated. Big cats possess an innate desire to hunt, so owners of big cats should provide their cats with something to fulfill this desire. They also require a lot of care, and finding a veterinarian that is willing or wanting to provide care for a big cat can be extremely difficult. The second honorable mention goes out to venomous snakes. In the wild, people know to steer clear of venomous snakes, as snake venom can trigger a wide array of illnesses and reactions, including shock, heart palpitations, and death. And while owners of venomous snakes often believe that they are doing their due diligence and keeping their snakes locked securely in cages, venomous snakes have been known to escape. And when they do escape, they will bite and attack anything in the house that they come across, including unsuspecting children and vulnerable pets. For this reason, venomous snakes are an exotic pet that is best left in the wild, where they can be avoided when necessary. Still, some people insist on owning a venomous snake, but it isn't easy to do, given that venomous snake ownership is illegal in a lot of places. And even in places where it is legal, there is a lot of paperwork involved to ensure that the potential owner understands the responsibilities of the pet they are acquiring. And rightfully so, as this exotic animal clearly does not make for a good pet. Number 1. The slow loris. One glance into the big, innocent-looking eyes of a slow loris, and it's easy to see why some people might want this adorable animal for an exotic pet. The slow loris appears to be cute and cuddly, but things aren't always what they seem, which is why the slow loris has earned the top spot on this list of 10 exotic pets you should never buy. Slow lorises are extremely high maintenance, and it can be difficult for owners to meet all of its needs. But there is another very big reason that the slow loris is not a good pet. Slow lorises have a venomous bite. They secrete venom from a gland inside their upper arm and mix it with their saliva. This bite is highly harmful to humans. The venom can cause anaphylactic shock and even death in some cases.